In the ancient temple, Menghua is a young and energetic practitioner. He yearns for inner peace, but is often trapped by desires. During a meditation in a Zen hall, Menghua asked Zen Master Huiming for advice. Eager to find a way to liberation, Menghua began his spiritual journey. At first, he found it difficult to let go of his attachment to happiness. Whenever happiness comes, he is quickly enchanted by it and unable to transcend the feeling. Zen Master Huiming taught him to observe the truth of happiness, not by rejection, but by awareness. Zen Master Huiming, sitting in the Zen hall, with compassionate eyes, shared his profound wisdom with Menghua. Before you enter true practice, you must clearly see the value of getting rid of desires. Only then can true practice be possible. Of the two defilements, suffering and happiness, suffering is the easier to detect. Therefore, we must raise suffering in order to end our suffering. He first explained the snake metaphor to Menghua, pointing out that happiness and pain are like the head and tail of a snake, originating from the continuous cycle of desire. Zen Master Huiming's voice was like a breeze, and he said, "The head of the snake is suffering, and the tail of the snake is happiness. Not to mention the head, even if you just grab the tail, it will turn around and bite you. Happiness and pain, pleasure and sadness all arise from the same snake, desire. Don't try to grab the snake's head or touch its tail. Just be aware of its existence and let it flow naturally. So when you are happy, your mind is not truly peaceful. Happiness is not our destination. Pain is not our destination. Inner peace is our true destination. Understand the truth of things as they really are. Let go of attachment to all external conditions and use an unattached heart as your refuge. Where do pleasure and pain exist? Both happiness and suffering arise from attachment. You must let go of your likes and dislikes, your pain and happiness, both. Everything has two sides, and you must look at it comprehensively. Then, when happiness comes, you will not get carried away. When pain comes, you will not be confused. When happiness arises, you don't forget the pain because you know they are interdependent. When you feel hatred and resentment, you must practice compassion with the right view. In this way, your state of mind will be more balanced and stable. Zen Master Huiming guides Menghua to deeply understand the blade, back and hilt of the soul. He points out, practice is about learning to see the many sides of things at the same time. The blade represents the appearance of good and evil, the back of the knife is behind things, and the hilt is our control over things. You have to pick up all three together to be able to truly understand the essence of things. Zen Master Huiming's metaphor made Menghua understand that transcending appearances and seeing through the inner nature of things is the real practice. Menghua often fell into the obsession with happiness, and Zen Master Huiming patiently explained, if we regard happiness as what we have and pain as what we have, then we are undoubtedly asking for trouble. Because we will never be able to get rid of the heart, there's something wrong, quagmire. It's a preference. It's really nothing, just a rise and fall of feelings. Happiness is like the wind, unstable and ever-changing, rising many times. Pain is like clouds, unstable and emerging from time to time. That's their nature. That's what they are. When you can see things as just that much, they will remain just that much. Once you become aware of attachment, the attachment and clinging immediately disappear. All they have left is the cycle of birth and death, and that is peace. Using impermanence as our teacher, we understand that happiness and unhappiness are neither permanent nor permanent, cannot be relied upon, and are by no means permanent. With this understanding, we gradually stop believing in the various emotions and feelings that surge in our hearts, and misunderstandings will weaken as we stop believing. This is the true meaning of liberation. When pain rises, it also dissipates. However, when it disappears, the pain returns. There is only reincarnation of pain. Everything is just birth and death, not continuous existence. This perspective creates a sense of tranquility in our world. We don't see happiness as ours, nor do we see dissatisfaction and unhappiness as ours. When we stop thinking that way, and stop clinging to pleasure and pain, all that remains is the true nature of things. When does the pain arise? It rises at the same time we realize that we have gained something, and this is where the pain comes from. If we are filled with the concept of self, everything around us becomes mine and confusion will creep in. Everything is just everything. They are not the cause of anyone's pain. Like a sharp thorn. Does it hurt you? No, it's just a thorn and doesn't affect anyone. Everything in the world is just everything, and we bring it upon ourselves. If you ignore them, they won't bother anyone. That's why the Buddha said, Nirvana is bliss. If you still have happiness and pain, you are still an unsatisfied person. You must give up pleasure and pain together, which are only food for the unfeasted. In truth, happiness is just a disguise for pain, and if you cling to happiness, it's the same as clinging to pain. So, be careful. When happiness rises, don't be intoxicated with it. Don't be pulled. When pain comes, don't despair. Don't let yourself get lost in it. Understand that the value of happiness and pain is the same. Is there joy when you hold on to something special? Or unhappy? If happiness exists, have you captured that happiness? If there is unhappiness, have you grasped that unhappiness? Zen Master Huiming's words are like a bright lamp, illuminating Menghua's heart. The aware one sees things as they really are, and does not fall into happiness or sorrow due to changing phenomena. When everything goes well, the heart will not be immersed in joy. When everything does not go well, the heart will not be immersed in sadness. Buddhism teaches about abandoning evil deeds and cultivating good deeds. When evil has been abandoned and good has been established, we must release our attachment to good and evil. The purpose of practice is to let go of the attachment to right and wrong, and ultimately, to abandon everything. Don't cling to good, don't cling to evil. These are the nature of the world. The goal of our practice is to transcend the world and guide all of this to the end. If something is good, don't hold on too tightly. If something is bad, don't cling to it. Both good and bad bite. So don't get too hung up on them. The desire for happiness kicks in from one side, and suffering and dissatisfaction kicks in from the other side. These two sides are always surrounding us. The Buddha taught us to constantly let go of these two sides. This is the right path, leading us out of the cycle of birth and being. On this path, there is neither happiness nor suffering, neither good nor evil. If we do things just for the sake of reward, it will only cause suffering. Practicing is no longer about getting something, but about letting go. If someone curses us, and we have no sense of self, things will stop at words and not suffer. If an unpleasant feeling arises, we should let it stay there and be aware that the feeling is not us. Zen Master Huiming's words profoundly describe how practitioners cannot be disturbed by external factors in life and maintain inner peace. Zen Master Huiming finally told Menghua, based on the teaching of impermanence, we understand that neither happiness nor unhappiness is permanent. With this understanding, we will gradually stop believing in the various emotions and feelings that arise in our hearts, and misunderstandings will follow. It decreases as we stop believing, which is the meaning of untying the knot. His teachings were like a breeze, blowing away the fog in Menghua's heart, allowing him to gradually experience the joy of inner liberation. Zen Master Huiming's words and teachings are filled with profound Zen wisdom, providing profound guidance for Menghua's practice. His teachings are not only about the wisdom of individual practice, but also about the enlightenment of the true meaning of life. Through his guidance, Menghua was able to transcend the shackles of desire, realize inner peace, and finally achieve the perfection of practice.